In this operation, the Americans and their equipment at the Al Dhafra base were targeted with precision weapons. The Al Dhafra base in the UAE had been the source of the Americans' crime in the girls' school in Minab, where 165 innocent people were martyred.
All I can say is that we're investigating that. We, of course, never target civilian targets, but we're taking a look and investigating that.
The sons of the Iranian nation in the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, on the 7th day of the war and in continuation of the 22nd wave of Operation True Promise 4, dealt crushing blows to the enemy's structure. In this operation, the Americans and their equipment at the Al Dhafra base were targeted with precision weapons. In addition to the destruction of the base's advanced radar, the hangars for the maintenance of MQ drones, U-2 aircraft, and the American Patriot system were also obliterated. The Al Dhafra base in the UAE had been the source of the Americans' crime in the girls' school in Minab, where 165 innocent people were martyred. These operations against the base were carried out as retaliation against the American terrorists. During the attack on Udeid base, cruise and ballistic missiles were used to destroy the base's early warning radar, its auxiliary facilities, fuel depots, and both runways, used by the Americans in their assaults on our country. In the past 2 days, the courageous soldiers of our nation, in 2 waves of combined attacks, completely destroyed the radar and air traffic control systems, satellite communication facilities, and fuel supply depots of the Udeid Air Base using kamikaze drones and ballistic missiles. Meanwhile, in the attack on the American base at Erbil airport, 11 Americans have so far been killed. The occupied territories were also struck by Kibar-Shikan missiles from the aerospace force of the IRGC. In addition, one of the headquarters belonging to separatist groups in the Kurdistan region was hit and destroyed. Furthermore, following a combined drone and missile operation targeting objectives in the occupied territories and American bases across the region on Friday night, under the operational code O Master of Time, the 23rd wave of Operation True Promise 4 began. The ground and naval forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran launched a new wave of drone attacks targeting American bases and the occupied territories. Since the early hours of Friday, the Navy has been launching heavy fire at enemy concentration points, U.S. bases, and equipment in Minhad, Camp Arif Jan, and sites within the occupied territories of the Zionist regime. The pure blood of our martyred comrades from the beloved Dina vessel flows in the veins of the Navy's brave men. This battle will continue until the enemy is forced into regret. We warn the criminal and inhumane enemy. The vengeance and retribution for the martyred Imam and the victims of recent atrocities remain the top priority of our armed forces. The remembrance of these precious martyrs is the very reason that the blood of our self-sacrificing soldiers continues to surge.
Our defensive shield is equally formidable. The most sophisticated air and missile defense network ever fielded. Thousands of Iranian missiles and drones have been intercepted and vaporized. Tens of thousands of American and Allied lives protected. We have pushed every counter-UAS system possible forward, sparing no expense or capability. And like I said, this does not mean we can stop everything, but we ensured that the maximum possible defense and maximum possible force protection was set up before we went on offense. All I can say is that we're investigating that. We, of course, never target civilian targets, but we're taking a look and investigating that. Red tie in front.
Just on the basis that with the information you would have, your reconnaissance abilities, ability to gather information, I mean, it's several days on now. So is there any clarity on whose munition this was?
We're investigating it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. So there are reports that the administration is considering arming Iranian Kurdish groups. So could you please clarify that whether any such plan has been authorized and whether Congress or regional partners has been notified and consulted?
All I would say is none of our objectives are premised on the support or the arming of any particular force. So what other entities may be doing, we're aware of, but our objectives aren't centered on that.
You touched on this in your opening remarks, but I'm hoping you could expand on it a bit. It's been reported that Iran might be trying to outlast our ability to intercept their missiles. It sounds like you guys are saying they don't have the ability to do so. Is that the case? Can they outlast us in their ability to do that?
Iran cannot outlast us. We're going to ensure through violence of action and our offensive capabilities and our defensive capabilities, as I said, that we set the tone and the tempo of this fight. That's why stories and speculation about different things that try to make it look like we're limited in what we can do. The only limits we have in this is President Trump's desire to achieve specific effects on behalf of the American people. And that's why we don't talk about, you can say 4 weeks, but it could be 6, it could be 8, it could be 3. Ultimately, we set the pace and the tempo. The enemy is off balance, and we're going to keep them off balance. And we know their ability to shoot versus our ability to defend. That difference gets wider and wider every day. Our defense gets better, their offensive capabilities diminish. As we are going into ammunitions that we, as we said, have tens of thousands of and can drop unlimited supplies on with even more effects than the standoff emissions we have now, which is why when we say the throttle's going up, the throttle's going up and it's going to stay on high. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.